As you know, we here at the show returned from Florida, which is a prime example, by the way, of how to purchase an election. The primaries are tomorrow, and already more than $24 million has been spent on political ads. $24 million bucks. Mitt Romney and the super PACs that support him outspent Newt Gingrich 4-1. And speaking of bought, all that cash has bought Romney a 15-point lead in the latest polls. For more on Auction 2012, we turn to the mega panel. Imogen, Tim, and Sam are here. If nothing else, Sam, you have to be offended, whatever your political affiliation, not just by the money, but by the existence of secret, undisclosed money. The fact that we're allowing the use of money that you don't even know whose money it is beyond the pale. Well,
it turns out Justice Kennedy was wrong when he cast that fifth vote on Citizens United, that there would be transparency. It turns out that when these laws get executed and translated, you can actually fund these super PACs, and you don't have to reveal until after the election, who's been dumping the money in. And so it's a problem. The people of Florida don't know who it is that are funding these millions of dollars of ads. So the idea of transparency out the window. Justice Kennedy should be feeling pretty bad right now.
I mean, Tim, the Republicans for years have said, listen, when it comes to money in politics, we need to have transparency. The Democrats for years have said, when it comes to money in politics, we need to have regulations. Right now we have no regulations and no transparency. Do you think that we could see a political sort of force develop this year, at least around getting transparency? Forget the amendment, forget money out of politics. In the short term, can you get the transparency solved?
The problem is that there isn't a push broadly for transparency. I'm all for transparency, but also I don't have a problem with corporations or whoever spending money to communicate to voters. That's what they're doing right now.
You have an issue with them doing it secretly.
I do have an issue with them doing it secretly, but again, what they're doing now is trying to convince voters to vote one way or another. That is nowhere near as problematic as a revolving door. And when you're focusing on, corporations are people too, on that talk, or on money equals speech.
Let's not get distracted.
But you're the one who's getting distracted.
No, I'm not. Yeah. What I'm saying is we have to deal with the lack of transparency in this money.
And I think, and in some municipalities in Virginia, for instance, if you give to a campaign, there's instant disclosure. Within 36 hours, it's up there.
That's fine.
Let's get that on the federal level.
For 2012 transparency, are these people drunk? Go ahead, Imogen.
Well, on some levels, yes, they probably are very drunk indeed. I have to say, the whole thing that's going on with the Boston Senate race at the moment, when you've got Scott Brown and Elizabeth Warren, and they've signed this pledge to say that with this super PAC pledge that they don't want money in their race, as it were, and that if negative ads are aired, that they will therefore have to give money to a charity of their rival's choice. And I just wonder if we're going to see a bit more of self-regulation actually during 2012. I don't know.
Yeah.
Live in hope.
Well,
you never know.
Self-regulation now. Every day I go and I check to see if I can see Scott Brown's or Elizabeth Warren's campaign finance disclosure.
Nothing.
They could have put that up as early as January 5th. 30 days later, I still don't know what they got in the fourth quarter.
The market in that instance has seemed to have failed. Self-regulation once again fails.
This is one of the dumbest, lowest hanging fruit in American politics today.
And Citizen United hitched on this. Kennedy thought there was
lower it.
I understand, but Kennedy thought there would be transparency, and there clearly is not.
Right.
And so that whole decision.
There could be if the legislature went for it. Anyway, the panel stays.